daily fantasy sports. The most addictive thing you can do on your phone other than perhaps cocaine.
Fantasy sports and fantasy football in particular have exploded since enthusiasts took their hobby online.
And look who the check is made out to. Big winner. Your f***ing husband.
And entertainment conglomerates are the prime beneficiaries, not only because fantasy players are driving NFL TV ratings to record highs, but because their sports websites are where a lot of fantasy football leagues are managed.
You got to be an uber fan, don't you, to know what's to do fantasy or not?
Not really. I mean, DraftKings actually has private games you could set up and just play against your friends.
And many celebrities around the world have also gotten in on the fun of fantasy football. So today, we'll be looking at 3 celebrities that you might not have guessed would be into playing fantasy football. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Daniel Radcliffe. Most people wouldn't expect Harry Potter to be into fantasy football, but he definitely is.
I play fantasy as well, and I'm just, yes. Yeah.
You play fantasy football?
Yeah.
And even though Radcliffe doesn't hail from the United States, where American football is king, he still loves the game.
Are you a football fan? Are you into the game this week?
I am, yeah, and I'm a huge American football fan, again, which surprises people about me because I sound am English.
He discovered fantasy football while filming in the United States, and he's been hooked ever since.
You're in a league right now.
I'm in 2 leagues, one of which...
2 leagues?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a problem?
No, I think 2's manageable.
He has admitted, however, that he has a lot of catching up to do.
None of us quite have any idea what's going on.
And he does countless hours of mock drafts beforehand, just so he won't embarrass himself when it's time to do the real thing.
I'll be in my bedroom, making no noise and pretending that I don't exist.
And like most fantasy football players, the Harry Potter star loves coming up with a funny team name.
What are your names?
I have Jared Goff on one team, and so I went with Goff with their heads.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
Brooklyn Decker. The model/actress has always been a football fan, with her favourite team being the Carolina Panthers. Decker has said she loves doing fantasy football drafts, but admits it's hard for her to keep up with all the different players and games once the season gets rolling.
Because it's kind of great.
It's great, yeah.
It's exhausting, it is. I really don't know where I am half the time.
One of her biggest fantasy football seasons was when she and a group of friends joined a league with other celebrities, including Adam Sandler.
When you are in a fantasy league, though, with Adam Sandler, what's the trash talk like?
I tried to start some trash talk on the message boards, because you think with all these comedians, like, it's going to be the best place for trash talk, and frankly, like, I think that's one of the more fun parts about fantasy. No one would join in with me.
Brooklyn ended up winning the league, and she attributes the win as to why she was not asked back for the next season.
I was not asked back. I think because we won last year, we weren't asked back.
Maybe he just couldn't handle losing to a girl. Paul Rudd. The Ant-Man star is a certified fantasy football player who usually plays in multiple leagues every year.
Your fantasy team and your fantasy background and how much, you love it, how competitive you are.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Very competitive. I'm in 3 leagues right now. I have 3 teams.
And he's even got his son playing fantasy football with him.
My son is a huge Chiefs fan, like me.
Good son.
And also very into fantasy football.
His obsession became public in 2011 when he did an interview with The Hollywood Reporter and talked about how much he loves fantasy football.
It's just really fun. It's really fun to care about a game that you would not care about.
Rudd was even in a league with a bunch of his Marvel co-stars, including Robert Downey Jr., who he loved to trash talk.
Repeat yourself, you know that? You're repeating yourself.
You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
He even parodied Black Sabbath's Iron Man music video with lyrics specifically trash-talking Downey Jr.'s fantasy football skills.
Can he win at all? No, he can't. His team sucks balls.
Fantasy football, along with other fantasy sports, only continues to grow.
No doubt that fantasy football is extremely popular.
Sure.
And anything that gets people watching the game is good.
So we're excited to see which celebrities will be getting in on all the action next. Once again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we have more great videos coming your way.